welcome to episode 5 of The Witching Hour. I am Perri Nemiroff, and I am so happy to be joined by my co-host in red today. It's Haleigh Bouch.
Hello, everyone.
How's life?
It's fine.
So you're only wearing red because we have no orange in the room.
Yes,
so
I no longer clash. It's a blessing.
All right.
Red is one of my favorite colors.
It's a lucky color.
Is it?
I think so. Orange happens to be, this is the most important thing to be covering on The Witching Hour. Orange happens to be my favorite color, but the Nemiroff and Klein generations have a thing for red. Red in the number 13.
Oh yeah, those are we're in the same boat there.
Okay, that's why we're doing this podcast together. We have a cool topic today. Something I guess I would call it something a little different, something new and up and coming. Even though it's been around for a little bit, but we're seeing this tech evolve in a way like we've never really seen before, and it is the term Screenlife, which I believe Timur Bekmambetov coined the term Screenlife.
Yes.
Correct? So what Screenlife is if you've ever seen a movie that takes place entirely on a computer screen, that is Screenlife.
Yeah.
So an example would be the upcoming movie with John Cho, It's Searching, which we will talk about here. And there's a bunch of other examples too. I know one of my favorites is the first Unfriended movie.
Yeah, there's the first Unfriended. They just released the sequel earlier this summer. There are some that are unofficially Screenlife, like they're not actually made by the same producers as Screenlife, but Screenlife.
Screenwife. That sounds like that sounds like a Lifetime horror movie to me.
Screenwife.
Screenwife.
They have another one. Oh, the ones that aren't officially, like there's The Den, which came out years ago.
I heard good things about The Den.
It's dark.
Right? Okay.
Yeah, it's real dark. But it's not bad. And then there was Open Windows.
I was not a fan of Open Windows.
I didn't love it, but I did like the ambition of it.
Yeah.
And it was before Timur sort of launched this idea as something that was really acceptable.
Didn't Open Windows and Unfriended, weren't they at South by the same year? Or am I crazy?
You're the one who goes to South by.
That's
not
anymore.
My dear.
It's been a little while, but Unfriended really put that style on the map for me, because when I first heard that it was being used, my mind immediately went to the found footage concept and just how, after Paranormal Activity in particular hit it really big, all of a sudden you got these, to be honest, crappy copy and paste type movies where no one actually added anything to the format. They didn't actually use the format for its purpose, which is you need to actually justify a camera being somewhere, a character holding a camera, and the idea of it being found footage versus shaky cam also. But anyway, I was worried that Screenlife would kind of fall into that hole, and I'm kind of teasing a little something that we talked about with Timur for the release of Searching. But when I saw the movie Unfriended, I kind of realized how much potential there was and all the interesting ways that you could shoot a movie like that, because that's hands down still to this day one of my favorite interviews I ever did was with the writer and the director of that movie. And they were telling me about how they basically had this multi-room house, and each room had a different one of the actors, and all the cameras were interconnected. And they were shooting them. There's multiple takes in the final cut of the film, but they would run the whole thing straight through.
Right.
And that just sounded fascinating and so immersing from an acting standpoint to me. And also, I think the movie's great.
Yeah, and it's so interesting, too, because when, as later in the interview you guys will hear, that is not how they have been shooting recently. Mm-hmm. They've been shooting digitally and remotely across continents, not in one house, not even in the same country.
Fascinating.
It's crazy. And the whole thing is just fascinating from top to tail, because it is like found footage in certain ways, and it is unlike found footage in many other ways. And it's all internal. Basically, it's all just inside one person. And that is such a strange way to tell a story, is all within a cinematic story, especially. Like, obviously, a lot of novels are just like one person thinking for a really long time, but really you watch their every click. Even something, when I watched Unfriended Dark Web, something as simple as them guessing someone else's password reveals character. And that's we haven't really seen characters explored quite that way on screen before.
There's like a lack of an ability to control how you're presented in that situation too.
Yeah.
It's like you get well underneath the surface level of how you'll present yourself in person, face to face with someone else. But
That's right.
There's certain things that are happening on your computer screen that you might not even be aware of, like that one random tab that is open that like you didn't even know was there, but you show your screen to someone, or just the first line of an email. There's so many just little things hidden that say so much about who you are, down to the icons on your bottom bar.
Totally, and there's a reason why people are always worried about their browser history.
Yeah, that's a real thing. I'm pretty sure that every single time I look at Mom and Em's browser history, it's always something to like the vet version of WebMD. It'll be like, is it okay that my dog did this or something like that? Yeah, mine is mostly like cute cat and dog pictures. Make me smile now.
Oh man, mine's all over the place, especially writing about horror. I probably
boy.
been on a few watch lists. Like, how does this work?
Or mine is also probably a ton of like fill in the blank movie IMDb.
Yeah,
because I can't just go to IMDb and search there.
Too many steps.
Curious because I'm a big fan of Unfriended. Haven't seen the dark web yet. What did you think of that movie?
I like it. I don't love it, and that's more a matter of personal taste and preference than any outstanding criticisms with the technical elements of the film. For me, it's just a little too mean-spirited and nasty, and that's not the horror I usually have fun with. I don't. It's right on the line of snuffish.
Okay.
And that's not necessarily for me. I think when you remove the supernatural element out of the equation, which is part of what makes the first film fun, even though it is about bullying, which is a real thing.
Yeah.
It's a supernatural film. When you make it people doing horrible things to other people on the internet for entertainment, it falls into a darker, more relatable and snuff-aligned territory.
Alrighty.
That will make you want to cover your lens.
I would say that would turn me off and make me not watch it, but when it comes to this genre, I'll probably watch anything if it piques my interest just a little bit. So it's
worth seeing.
It's definitely on my list. Any other standouts in the Screenlife category before I touch on searching a little?
There's one I actually haven't seen yet, but I'm really excited about. It's another one from Timur.
I know where you're going with
Profile?
this. I'm so excited
I can't
for Profiles.
wait. Yeah, that one's about a British journalist trying to infiltrate ISIS, and it's her screen as she's doing her journalisming.
There were some people in it that I was really excited. I was excited to see Shazad Latif from Star Trek Discovery. Because I like him.
Yeah, and it's been getting killer reviews out of festivals. I'll be seeing it actually this week because it's the opening night film at North Bend Film Festival. So I'll have some thoughts on that soon.
We're going to have a lot of festival coverage coming your way real soon between North Bend, and then I'm off to TIFF, and then you're off to Fantastic Fest. So, I mean, if you're looking for a place to get the first reviews on some of these genre movies, I mean, this is going to be it. That's
you guys
for sure.
want to know what's happening in horror?
I am so pumped. So moving on specifically to searching right now, Haleigh, you didn't get the chance to see it yet.
No.
I caught it at a very early screening, and I'm thankful I did because it's really, really good. One of the things that impressed me most about Unfriended was how natural, very familiar things that you do on a computer felt to me, like the movement of the cursor, typing something and deleting it. Mm-hmm. Searching takes it to a whole nother level where I'm just the level of detail that you see, and even just backtracking a bit and going to the very beginning of the movie. So it opens up with this, maybe a couple minutes, like 2 to 3 minute montage that catches you up on every single element of this family's life that lands them at this point that they're at right now. And it's like after those 2 to 3 minutes had come and gone, I kind of just sat back and I'm like, holy crap, I just met you. I already like you. I already feel like I know your family, and I feel for you. And really, what better way to launch into a story about a father coming to realize he doesn't really know his daughter and then having to find her in this terrifying scenario. And, I'm keeping this very non-spoiler for you guys, but the mystery here is very, very effective because you go into it. engaged, you go into it caring about the family, and that right then and there entices you to play along and want to solve the mystery and find his daughter. And just the way that they use the screen from start to finish is so wildly immersive, to the point that you're trying desperately to connect every single dot yourself, but it also has that feeling. And I love when movies are twofold like this, where you care about the immediate story that's unfolding on screen, but then you can look at something and you could be like, how would I apply that in my life? Have I ever done something like that? Because I'm addicted to my phone. I'm addicted to my laptop, and Searching is a movie that calls into question how much you really know your loved ones, even if you are communicating with them constantly on your phone or your computer. And it's a mind F in that kind of case. And John Cho was really just a perfect anchor and lead for this movie. He so really great. Just has that. He rips your heart out. He really does. But I can't say enough about this movie. And I had already thought that Screenlife had loads of potential under Timur's leadership, based on Unfriended. And this, to me, shows that they're going to take it to a whole nother level, maybe something that I can't even wrap my mind around right now, because what he's doing with this, he didn't just go out and find a script that suited Screenlife well and make that movie happen. He's got this whole program, a whole program dedicated to finding new filmmakers who could tell stories in new ways, specifically through Screenlife. And
not just horror thriller. They're exploring all kinds of avenues. They've got like a Romeo and Juliet inspired story coming. They've got a Cyrano de Bergerac inspired story coming.
There is just so much potential here. It is really mind-blowing to me, and I think I could speak for both of us when I say we were really thrilled to have him come into the studio and talk at length about Screenlife in general, like his hopes and plans for it. But in particular, he also showed us this pretty incredible Google Chrome plugin that he has created with his team that basically lets you make your own Screenlife movie by yourself on your computer, just like you see it play out in a movie like Unfriended or Searching. And it's something else. And we had a lengthy conversation with Timur, and that is what you are going to get right now.
Okay, it's happened 2013. First time I was on a Skype with my friend, my colleague, and she shared the screen with me. Skype just released the version with the possibility to share the screen. She shared the screen, and we discussed the poster on her desktop, and then we finished, and then she forgot to unshare, and for a few minutes I was literally inside her brain, because I saw how I saw on the screen how she bought some stuff and sent messages to her friends. It was. Then I said, sorry, you should unshare because I see everything what you're doing. And then at this moment I understood that I'm dealing with a new language, with a new possibility for filmmakers, because there is no other way I can be so deep inside the character. And I decided that we should try to make a movie using this language, because it's unbelievable tool. And we began our journey. It was Unfriended, the first Screenlife movie we made. And now, when we made Unfriended, it was like animation, because we created the screen ourselves. It was not the characters playing with the screen. It was post-production. We just moved the mouse, animated all the typing, and then I understood the movie was great, but I understood that it's not organic. And then I decided that we should invent some recorder allowing us to record screens. And it's not like a screen flow. There's a lot of recorders, screencast recorders, but you cannot manipulate with the recording after that, because everything's baked as a video. And as a filmmaker, I want to move windows, I want to make it slower, I want to make the mouse shaky, I want to change the story in post-production. And the only way to do it, if you will record not the video, not the screen as a video, but screen as a code. And we began another journey. It's a IT development, process to create the new type of tools. And just yesterday, Yanis, as our tech guy, just informed me that we got a patent, that we created a new type of the recorder. And and it's an interesting because we can record you, like what you just downloaded extension. It's extension for Chrome or Safari, and you can record yourself because we live on screens today. Like I live on screen. Like half of my time, I'm in front of the screen, and it means half of events of my life. I'm falling in love, losing friends, finding new ones, making moral choices, happening on screen. And there is no way you can tell story about today's world and today's characters without showing the screen of the character. I'm like since like I don't know Matrix. Well, I don't know when, the 90s. I'm literally magnetized when I see the screen of the character. Like somebody's typing codes, and it's not code is not right, not correct, and he should fix it. And he doesn't know what it is. And I mean, I don't care about the rest of the movie. These moments are for me is most interesting in the last 20 years cinema. And I decided that we should make movies 100% entirely taking place on computer screens. Of course, it's a little provocative, but it helps because for filmmaker it's very important to have restrictions. Then these restrictions helps you to form the new language, your own language. And for like last 5 years, we're producing this kind of movies. We produced 7 movies now. 3 of them sold and will be released. Well, one was released successfully Unfriended today, and now it's Unfriended sequel in the theaters. And at the end of the months, we will be happy to present, I think, one of the best movies we made. It's called Searching.
I will definitely say
and,
it's one of the best.
Yeah, and what's interesting, our movies are presented in many festivals now, Screenlife movies, movies of this format, and on every festival we are receiving the same prize. Jury never gave us a prize, but audience gives us audience award. And every festival, it started with Unfriended in Montreal, 2014. Then Searching got a Sundance Audience Award prize. The Profile, another movie, we didn't release it yet, got a prize in Berlin and in South by Southwest. It's the same prize, Audience Award. It means audience understands and loves this language.
Yeah, they're responding to it clearly.
It's how we live. There is no other way to tell story about me. Because if you see today's hero, the character, if you see on camera, like if you'll put camera here, like this camera, and we'll try to capture your life.
Yeah.
We will see just two smiling nice faces. But if I will look in your screen, then there's a drama. Like you're getting notification, happy birthday, or you're answering, sorry, I cannot talk now, I'm in the middle of something, or there is some more dramatic stuff could come, and it's your life.
All the dramatic stuff happens in the Collider Slack. You know about Slack? We're constantly talking in that. There's all the drama there.
Yeah, but it's exactly, it's your life.
Yeah.
Like you see, you're very smiley and happy, but there is a drama. There is a lot of things happening, and we learn for 1,000 years. We learn how to lie with our facial expressions, but we don't know how to lie on screen yet. We honest, because if I see your screen, I know exactly what you feel. Even if you're smiling now, you feel how dramatic people typing you. Stop smiling, just make a smart face and ask something.
No, it's true. I mean, even just looking at what's on my bottom bar right now, you could see a million Excel docs and notepad notes with to-do lists that are a mile long. So, you feel the stress. But the second you sit in front of the camera,
Got to be calm.
Yeah, calm, cool. Well, because of the
still inside you.
it's inside of you, but because of the lists, I am calm because it means I'm prepared.
Okay. Okay, that doesn't matter. What I'm saying is, if I see your screen, I know exactly what's happening.
I love how I'm already making excuses before we press record here.
Yeah. And today, when I'm watching a traditional movie, like a few guys with the guns breaking the door of the bank and just screaming like on the floor, "Give me cash," it looks retro because there is no more cash in the banks. There's nothing to take, and the people are with the masks. They already recorded by hundreds of cameras on street and in the mobile phone tracking where they are, and there is these filmmakers keep making these movies, which has no connection with the reality anymore. And today's robbery scene, it's a young boy sitting in the cafeteria across the street with an iPhone, hacking the internet system of this bank and just moving money to his friend in New Zealand. I don't know. This is a robbery, and we filmmakers, we just keep making these retro movies about people with the guns, crazy, like old-fashioned. And by the way, I was in a cinema a few days ago, watching Mission Impossible. Nice action, great action, big movie. But I looked around in the cinema. All people were 50 plus. There was no young people at all. Like, you know,
Right.
And it's very, very symptomatic. Like the young people there on screens, and to tell their stories, you should capture their screens to understand what's happening with them.
Well, I was going to save this for later, but because you just brought it up, especially with your focus being so heavily on Screenlife right now, what is your take on the whole trend of the rise of streaming services and, the potential down the line, the demise of the theatrical experience?
I think this world really, the technology really affecting our life. It's obvious, and it's not only how we see the content, how we can consume the content, and also how this content looks like. And I'm sure first of all, people cannot spend 90 minutes. It's too much in today's world, And the stories trying to be shorter. Like the storytelling is not about the long. It could be serialized, but you cannot focus more than, let's say, 10 minutes on something. And the smart movies, they have a very unique structure when a story breaks in pieces and there's hooks, like TV, and I think that the screens. I'm sorry, I'm coming back to my topic because
no, that's the point.
What I believe in. I believe that the screen life, what we do on screens, is most attractive for today's audience, magnetizing. Like if somebody will stay behind you, like somebody will show up behind you, you automatically will turn your screen. Will try to close your computer because this is your innerhood, and you don't want to people to be inside you, and you're trying to hide it.
You saw our office space out there. There's no hiding screens in that bullpen setting.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm trained to do that all day now.
Are you recording?
No, not yet. So right now I have it's a Google Chrome plugin called Screenlife, and this is your plugin.
Yeah.
So all I have to do now that I'm all installed and logged in, I think I just click this little record button.
Yeah, it's a small green button on the bar on the top of the browser.
All right, let's see what happens here. That's a flattering angle.
Oh, gosh.
I'm like trying to get away from it. I see it recording me.
Yes.
But it's also recording everything that's going on the screen.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
And everything what you're recording is clickable. Like we are not recording the video. We're recording the code, HTML code, and everything what you recorded will be saved. You can save. You can push the button.
So now I have to navigate over to.
You can just push the same button to stop the recording.
So does it record the whole screen or just the browser?
We have different recorders. We have 3 recorders. This recording just browser.
Okay.
Because it's less private. It's more like where the whole story usually takes place. It's how you communicate. But we have a recorder called layers, recording the whole screen for film production, when we need to record the whole screen.
Right.
And the recording, if you push save, did you save it?
Okay, so now I'm going to stop this recording.
Stop, yes, then save.
I'm getting over to that window now.
Usually it will take a little
Look at
time.
that stinky face right there. It's loading.
Yeah, and when you will save it, then you can share with your. I mean, you can share with your friends, or with your audience, by the way, and what you're sharing is just link. Like you don't need. If I'm watching your recording, I don't need any players. I will just click the link and it will play in my computer.
This is such a useful tool.
Yeah.
Do you introduce something like this, especially with you producing so many Screenlife movies? Are you putting something like this out there so people can get creative on their own?
September we will release it for everyone can download and use it. It's free and you can record your piece of your life and share with your friends. And friends will, it's like an Instagram about Screenlife. Because friends can see what's happening in your life, in your screen life, and this recorder allows them even to interact with your life. Like, for example, if you're visiting the website of searching, movie.
Oh. It's playing down now.
Okay.
I should have went to searching the movie. I went to Collider instead. Now I just showed everyone my email.
But we can edit it. and when I'm watching your recording, if you can send it to me, I can click in the recording. I can enter your life. It's
I just noticed that.
It's like you can click.
Yeah. So if I want to save this now.
Yes, you can save. Yeah, you should save probably. You can click without saving, but it's better to save. But while you're playing with the recording, you can share in your social networks. You can send it as an email. You can embed on your website, whatever. And in your case now, you can literally put it in your show, and people watching you now on this camera can click. And just literally. I've got my link now, so I'm going to send it to you. Okay, send it.
So you're sharing this technology. You set up a contest for people to make films. It's obviously something you're very interested in helping sort of proliferate and expand in the industry. Why do you want it to become?
Okay, it's easy. It's easy to answer your question. For thousands of years, we, humanity, try learning how to live in the physical world. Yeah? We know how to. I know that I need a chair, otherwise we'll fall because of the gravitation. And I know what's a top and bottom. I know the light. I mean, I know that I cannot tell you something wrong because you can blame me for being rude. I mean, there is a lot of rules: moral, physical. And everything what we know about our world, we learn because of the storytelling, because our ancestors wrote created like myths and mothers' songs, like songs to the kids and fairy tales and scientific books. There was a lot of mythology, storytelling. Storytellers created a lot of myths. And it's how we understand the world and how we create the trust, because you see the world the same way as I see, 90% the same way as I see the world. Because we learned the same book, we read the same books, we heard the same fairy tales when we were kids, and we live in the world we comfortably because we have similar vision, yes, like a trust. But in Screenlife, in virtual world we live in now, it's what we agree, I hope. There is no mythos yet. There is no fairy tales yet. There is no, and this world is absolutely, there is a chaos. like we don't understand this world the same way. It's why it's very dangerous, and it's very uncomfortable. Every movie we made, every Screenlife movie we made, has the same theme: the fear of internet, fear of unknown, because there is not enough storytellers. There is not enough stories about screen life, our life on screens, and we spend a lot of time. As I said, we have a lot of events happening, and we have all our friends are there today. Like 90% of my friends are online friends, and for example, and we don't know how to deal with this yet. For example, what does it mean death in the internet? Like, my friend died 3 years ago, but keep sending me happy birthday messages. And because in physical world, we have rituals. We have a funeral when we all together, like crying and saying goodbye, and then next day we leave like mentally comfortable because we know the person died. We all seen him dead or learn. And this is a ritual we created thousands of years ago. But in internet, we don't have this ritual yet. We don't know. And what's a death, what's a life. Or family, for example. In our physical world, the family means we live together, we have the same post box, yeah? Getting letters from banks, whatever. We're sharing the post box. In internet, family, wife and husband, they have two mailboxes, and they're not sharing, and right. They're very scared to share, which means there is no story yet about this fact, and I don't think it's just a rule somebody can just write and publish on the internet. Nobody will follow. It's the only way to create the trust between people in the internet if somebody will tell emotional stories, like searching. The searching is unbelievable. Maybe one of the first myths of internet of Screenlife, because it's what's about. It's about the father discovered that his daughter disappeared, and he lost his daughter long time before he lost her in physical world. He lost her in virtual world. He lost her emotionally. And this is an emotional story, and I think millions of people watching this movie will learn that we should probably share with each other our online, with the people we love, with the people we trust, to share our virtual life, screen life. And this myth will create the new moral, whatever, like a rule. And it's why I'm making this recorder, producing this recorder and sharing with millions of people, because I want a lot of people to tell their stories. A lot of people to understand how important to share their screen life with the friends, with the people they trust, or with people they want to attract. But it doesn't matter. And then from these millions of people, like some of them will be great storytellers, and their stories will be very popular, and they will. And then, but they'll be popular only if they will resonate with the millions, with the audience. Then we will create a new culture. It's why I'm doing it.
I also feel like you created a wonderful tool for me to explain things to my grandmother that are computer-based that I can't really communicate with her right now.
Yes, of course.
So I might be using it for that reason. But I heard in another interview pertaining to searching, and also the program that you've developed to find new directors out there to make Screenlife movies, that someone's going to be able to direct a movie if they're a good storyteller. But then I look at these Screenlife movies, and in particular searching, there's a million things going on at once. So how do you know that someone who is a good storyteller can also nail those technical aspects as a director?
It's easy. If you cry, smile, laugh, or jump on this chair, then he's a good storyteller. There is no other way. I don't need to analyze it. I need just to be the audience and watch it and feel. If I feel that it's this person telling me the story when I want to cry, or it's funny, or it's scary, then he's good.
Are you kind of revolutionizing the screenplay format as well with Screenlife? Are there particular rules?
Yeah, of course, to spread to spread this format, to spread the idea of Screenlife movies. Of course, I was trying to formalize, to explain people what it is. But of course, then every new filmmaker trying to make Screenlife movie, destroying my rules, and it's great, because it's how this language develops, because everyone adding something unique, something personal. And so, like, for example, Anish, when we made Searching, he said, I really like your ideas. I really like this Unfriended, but I don't want to make Unfriended. I want to make something my own, and I don't want to follow your rules when the story should be in real time, because it was how Unfriended was made. It's a real time process. It's no editing. It's like it's experience. And Anish had a different point of view. He said, I want to make more cinematic, more how to say this, aesthetically like cinematic movie. And of course I said yes, but let's see what will happen. Like it was his decision, his choice, and I trust people, because I think the producing, it's about picking the right guy you have a chemistry with and allowing him to do what he wants, and then it's your risk. But as soon as you are trying to tell what to do, you're losing the beauty. You're losing another genius heart and mind, and it's just meaningless. Of course, it could be done. Of course, you're trying to affect. Like, for example, on Searching, we had a very simple strategy, and I think we're using it on every movie I'm producing. The best way to give a notes, to organize screening, and the reaction of the audience gives director notes, some specific understanding understanding and some possibility to correct the process. And we did it for Searching too. There was like, I don't know, seven screenings.
Wow. And
every screening helped Anish Anish and Seth to understand where the problem and how to fix it, and they're smart enough to address all the audience notes, not my notes. And this is I think the best way to.
Are there recurring notes that keep popping up in these screenings that you do? Are there problems that you have to fix more often than others?
No, the notes. The audience doesn't. Audience doesn't understand what they want. But it's a reaction. You can hear when people laugh. You should interpret their notes. You cannot just follow what the audience said, but it's information, and it's much maybe more powerful and useful than notes from one person. Even I can interpret. I can just say, I think they said that because of this. But I think it's important to, and also especially for young, because in Screenlife there is no famous Academy Award nominated like winners. Now there will be, but not now. And all the young people who made the first Screenlife movies, they were all like first-time directors. Mm. They trust audience more than the authorities, and it was very logical for me to organize the process this way.
What about from a technical standpoint? Because I was watching another interview with John Cho, and he said one of the most challenging things was to react to things that he wasn't seeing. And, especially when I think of the production process on Unfriended, what you achieved with Hardcore Henry, there's so many technological advancements happening. So is there anything you're looking to do to kind of improve the experience for an actor?
It's what you're playing with. Because Anish it was not ready yet at that time, this recorder. And we're using this recorder now, and it's strategically changing the process. Because they made searching the old way, like when it's all was designed in post-production. Everything that you see on screen was not in pre-production, because they produced animatic of the whole movie, and then they shot actors, and then they assembled and finished it. Right. It was a lot of post-production process. But the recorders we invented allows us to shoot movies, to capture reality. And the actor, like for example, Profile, the movie I made in London, the actress interacted with the real websites, with the real. She called, she got the messages, and if there is a delay, some organic, like internet has a delays. If it's a delay, she was nervous, and Profile, we even shot movie on two continents at the same time, because we were in London with the actress, with our main character, and her antagonist was in Middle East, and we recorded two actors at the same time talking to each other on Skype, and it was an interesting, ambitious experiment, because it was difficult to do, because we had two crews, and because it's easy to record one side, then go to Cyprus and record second, but it was important for me to try, because every delay, there is a chemistry, like when it's happening in real, it's a chemistry when she speaks with him and suddenly his face distorts and she's scared, because of the bad connection, and his face distorted, or there's a delay and she wants to hear what he's saying, but suddenly sound disappeared and she's listening. And everything captured by camera, and of course, you can imitate. Okay, of course, a smart filmmaker can. Hey, hello.
Got the Profile page open. I'm busy showing everybody everything you're talking about.
And of course, you can imitate. Like great filmmakers can imagine what will happen, and great actors can pretend that they see something, but it's too complicated. It's like animation. But our recorder allows us to record and then to edit, to change, to adjust, like timing-wise, the real Screenlife. And this is why we call it Screenlife, because it's about life, not about some art. And then we continue. We have new tool ready to be released. It's streaming. We can stream your screen, and it's like unbelievable, because it's like stories in Instagram. Yeah, you can stream your Screenlife, and also we have a recorder recording like a security, recording the last 5 minutes of it's called SketchUp. It's recording the last minutes of your life. Like you don't need to think about recording, it's constantly recording, but you can save only the last few minutes you want to save, because you cannot miss, because the logic is, it's what I said, there is a lot of events happening on our screens, and if you want to catch these events, you don't need to push the button before, because you never know when it's happened. You can leave as you organic, you can leave on your screen, but if something happened, it's already caught, it's already captured. You can stop and just stream and just use this moment of something. Like somebody said that I love you, or somebody said you lost $100,000, or like this moment in your reaction, and your reaction, by the way, it's not what's happening on your face in Screenlife. Your reaction, it's how your mouse suddenly stops, or suddenly if you're typing something like, hey, I want to go to Argentina, and then suddenly, bing, you lost $100,000, and you delete. You'll delete the Argentina. You'll say Nebraska or somewhere.
It's a big leap there.
And you see, and I will immediately understand when I see you typing and deleting and changing your mind. Yeah, I will immediately understand what's happening inside you. This is a uniqueness of the language we're dealing with.
Privacy is obviously a huge conversation in anything having to do with online. And do you think people are willing to put their Screenlife live?
I believe that there is no privacy in the internet. I mean, we know that there is no privacy in the internet. If corporation saying you we are not using your data, they do. It's a reality. As soon as you open the computer, you are online, which means you are on the line. You agreed to be public, and of course there is you can put some security programs, but you're accepting the you're accepting the reality by just turning on your computer. It's real, and we should. And what I said, we should just learn how to live this way.
Yeah.
We cannot change it. There is no way you can put firewall. I mean, somehow block, because cameras like people. They're not funny people. They're covering their cameras with the tapes. And okay, you will cover your camera, but your microphone. What about your microphone? Okay, I will turn on my microphone. Then what about the Screenlife? Because I can understand a lot about you without even see your face. Okay, there is no way. We just need to learn and create the new culture. Like how we live on screens, what we can do. Like we all dressed here, and it's what we learned historically that we should be dressed. It's not because it's cold, because it's rules. And there is no rules yet in the internet. There is a horrible thing happening in the internet. There is a lot of crime and crazy people, and people, the good people trying to stop crazy people, because the FBI, all the people, all this, they have special divisions, special departments trying to deal with this, with the chaos of internet. And people who, it's what I know, I met them, people who's cleaning internet, they cannot work more than a few years, then they are losing their mind, and they should get retired, because because what they see.
Yeah.
And it's all stories for the new movies. It's what we are doing now. It's trying to find storytellers and journalists with the new stories, with this important stories about internet.
Is there any concern about people copying you? And I mean copying in a way where, when found footage was first on the rise, I thought a lot of filmmakers, and even still today, a lot of filmmakers use that format beautifully. But then there's some others that have kind of contributed to the stigma surrounding found footage. So what if someone makes a poor Screenlife movie?
I cannot, I don't want to monopolize this. It's like somebody like Lumiere brothers or Edison will try to make only his own movies. No, I want more people to be involved, because it will help my movies to be more successful, because we are just at the beginning of this trend, and it's very difficult for me to convince distributors and that it's a real business, and more people will be involved. More people will make good stuff. It'll be better for me too. But but I believe that it's not. It's a very big mistake to compare Screenlife and found footage, because found footage is just a technology, just a trick how to tell stories about physical world. Like we used cameras and cranes and whatever, but then people said, oh, now we can use just iPhones, and it is just different way of capturing the same reality. Mm-hmm. We are talking about totally different world, the world we created, human beings. We created the world of internet, and it's a different reality, like a different, what's happening inside the screen. It's not physical. There is no gravitation. There is no moral rules. You can lie there. There is no police inside. It's very different reality, and the Screenlife, it's like a camera. It's like the moment when people invented photo camera or how to make motion picture. And I think this is what I think. You cannot say, "Hey, Lumiere brothers made movie," and do you want more people to make this? To use cameras? Of course, I want. It's not the same. Every movie will be different, because then there'll be Ford, or then there'll be James Cameron, then there'll be somebody else, and every movie will be different. But they will all use motion picture technology. I think this is a better, more correct way to analyze what Screenlife means. It's the language format to tell stories about new reality, about the reality we live in now, but didn't understand that it's different.
I guess when you explain it like that, it crossed my mind that, pretty much any genre out there and any style of filmmaking eventually could fall into that shtick territory, where someone does it a certain way or uses and abuses it the certain way. So you kind of got to keep it fresh. So, when I first heard about Screenlife, it was through Unfriended, and the same thing with found footage also. I feel like both of them were tied to horror specifically at the very beginning, but you mention all these other things that are done, like drama, comedy, a heist idea. Are you exploring...
a disaster movie, too.
And, nice. Is a disaster movie on the table?
Yes, and we're producing Romeo and Juliet in Screenlife, because in today's world, Romeo and Juliet story will happen on screens.
For sure.
They will say, there is no more balconies. Like, who will on the balcony? Probably you will try to get her online to tell her this, and the grandmother will try to see if she's in on Skype or not. Mm-hmm. Like little people just checking how she was on Skype 1 minute ago, like on Snap, what is it? Telegram, like 1 minute ago, 1 second ago. Oh, she's here. I need to. It's a very different world. We're still the same. We're human beings. I think nothing will. I think we should be good. Nothing bad will happen. But we need just to learn and adapt this reality, and this is what we're doing.
Last call. Anything? I said I'd keep us on time.
Oh, yeah, no. Aren't we out of time?
That we are. This is something that I could talk about all day, especially with how it keeps evolving. And I don't know when you sleep, but it seems like a really promising format that I'm excited.
I have one question.
Oh, yes, please.
If somebody had dreams on screen, because I never had. It's interesting. I was thinking about it. Like, when you sleep?
Yeah.
I never had a dream about screen.
Oh, no. I don't think I have either.
It's interesting, yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know why. If somebody will answer this question, please call me or find me.
Yeah,
because, if somebody had this dream. I never had it. Because I'm a Screenlife person. Yeah. I'm thinking about it all day long.
You would think if somebody was going to, it would be you.
But not happening. Every night I'm just trying to ask myself.
That's funny. I think the closest I've ever come to something like that, but it's not on screen. It's a nightmare about maybe having forgotten to answer a pressing email. but still, it's not represented like I would think about it on screen.
I never had. Never had anything about Screenlife. And
Interesting. Well, I hope you find that person out there so you can make that story as well.
Movie.
We need to see more Screenlife ASAP. Searching. Okay, wait. We have one more question actually. So Searching. The release date has jumped quite a bit. Can you tell me a little bit about why it landed where it did?
It's great because the movie is so good. I mean, sorry for promoting it, but the movie is so powerful that we need time for word of mouth. You know, we need more time because every screening provokes more discussions, more people wants to see, and I think this 3 weeks push helps us to grow, helps movie to grow organically without bumping people with the advertisement. Just say, hey, go, you know. And this is a specificity of this project because it's a very new language, Screenlife. You cannot explain people what it is. You need to show. You know, you cannot say, hey, there is a Screenlife movie. Maybe after few successful releases, people will call in or just Skype or whatever, and with the friends and say, do you know where a new Screenlife movie is? But for today, there's a problem to explain what this language means, and it's very difficult to make a trailer because it's about screens, and people say, what is that? And the only way is to show, and then word of mouth will spread the interest, and it's what we're doing now. We need more time to grow.
I definitely remember I wasn't there, but when it first screened at film festivals, hearing pretty quickly about Searching, and the word of mouth did build very quickly after that.
But it's in the community, in filmmakers community.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this country is huge. The
Yeah,
world
yeah,
is huge.
totally.
And we need more time to grow, and more screenings, more TV shows, more Screenlife.
Given right now, Castle Rock's getting a little promotion. We got an Adam Chitwood article on Collider.com
Always
right here. I
Adam.
was checking out the profile IMDb page. So a lot of good things going on here.
I hope somebody, your friend, will call you now. Will send a message, and you will get it, and it'll be.
The greatest thing would be if my mom started texting me right now, which is a very real possibility.
Yes, and it's what will make your recording very believable because you cannot plan this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's not a story we are talking about now, but it will add credibility to our conversation. and I think this all nice realistic moments will help your recording be successful.
Well, thank you so much for coming in today,
Thank you.
for breaking all this down. And I'll second what you said before. I mean, Searching is a great movie, so I will continue to bang that drum for you, and everyone should go check it out. Timur, thank you so much for being here on The Witching Hour. Huge congratulations.
But
I should stop
wait.
this.
No.
No?
You should type Searching movie
Okay.
box of whatever, like
Website?
no ticket.
Tickets?
Oh,
Just buy a ticket. You can your audience will follow you.
There we go.
Okay, can you pick the screening? The
Yeah.
screening you like?
All right, I can't go tonight, but tomorrow night.
Yeah, if you.
Oh, it's already playing out here.
Okay,
wow.
then you can pick and you can buy the ticket right now, and your audience will go with you. They can buy it too, and this technology helps to influence.
Sadly for them, this screening will have passed by the time this interview has
That's
run.
so
So
true.
you guys are out of luck, but it's a
There's
good
the
idea in the
rub.
future. Timur, again, huge congratulations. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Timur.
Thank you.
So there it is, guys. That was our chat with Timur Bekmambetov, who is doing quite a bit in the Screenlife category right now, including giving me nightmares that this thing, I'm always afraid now because I see the symbol.
Yeah, you let it in. You let it in the house.
I let it in, and now everybody can see everything everywhere.
I would be terrified too.
It is exciting how something like that can make you so aware, though, because even now I'm having visions going back to Unfriended, where the first time. So actually, I'm going way off track now. I'm sorry. This is not what I prepared Haleigh for. One of my favorite memories of Unfriended hitting South by Southwest for its big premiere was they invited a bunch of press to see the movie, and then when we all got back to our computers to log on and write up our reviews, we all had friend requests from Laura Barnes.
Ew.
It was so
clever.
Perfectly timed, but kudos to that movie and kudos to everything Timur's doing in terms of making you look at your own screen a different way.
Yeah, well, what I love about what he talked about is he's not just making entertaining films with this. He thinks of it as a way of changing human communication, almost like accepting that we do now live our lives online and that we have to forge some kind of honesty there in the way that we have done so in our face-to-face, person-to-person communications, which that thing he talked about how families used to share mailboxes and now they all have their own individual ones. It's such a good point.
It really is fascinating. I mean, it's like a small version of the larger picture of what the movie industry does, and it's why we need more movies showing different people that aren't like you and different perspectives that you might not consider, because all of these movies then influence what you do in your everyday life, and just thinking about my immediate family and everybody's different screens and what they prioritize. It really is fascinating. And, especially nowadays too, where certain filmmaking equipment is very accessible to many people out there.
Yeah.
This Screenlife plugin really does have the potential, in my mind, right off the bat, of doing exactly what he says, which is giving new filmmakers the opportunity to just sit down and use this tool to tell a story.
It's everything, as his films are starting to prove, and the films he's producing, it's everything you need to make a movie, as long as you have the right story and a good performer.
I guess, yeah. The right story and a good performer, but then as you were explaining that, my producer mind kicked into gear, and all of a sudden I started to make a checklist, like, you gotta have that QuickTime file on hand, then don't forget to queue up your Facebook page or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're still making a movie, but what I'm saying is you don't need a full crew, you don't need any crane shots, you can do everything from your laptop. And that's obviously been a changing force in filmmaking anyway. Things have become more and more accessible, but this just feels like the next step in how accessible it all is.
I think the only thing at this point, and we go through this with anything that's being adapted or reused in a new way, but right now I connect Screenlife with Timur. And I'm just like, don't let anybody else touch it and ruin it and give it a bad name. But he had kind of the opposite.
Yeah, that's not
take,
at all how he feels.
Which basically, what I just said almost defeats the purpose of that plugin, letting people get out there and tell their stories their own way using this really interesting format. So, as much as I want to keep it all under lock and key and make sure quality films are always being told, I mean, part of the purpose of this plugin here is to really kind of spread that love and spread that filmmaking ability and that storytelling ability, because, I mean, I think it's probably a truth that everybody out there has some story to tell just using their computer.
Well, so I do want to clarify, the plugin is not currently available, right? It's not downloadable for the public yet, I think. Is it?
I mean, I was certainly...
But didn't they have to send it to you personally?
I don't think so.
No? Okay, maybe
I
I'm
had
wrong.
to send them. So I believe the way the plugin is right now is I had to send them. I think there's a beta version of Screenlife. The plugin is called Screenlife, and right now it's called Screenlife Beta. The only thing I had to send to them was the videos that I created during our interview. They weren't downloadable. You got a URL so you could rewatch them, but I had to send them my URL so that they could give us a QuickTime file.
I'm not sure. I feel like I remember them saying that it's not out quite yet, but it will be soon. Anyway, I don't want people to go crazy searching for it if it's not out there.
Not searching.
But
they're searching for it. Searching too. Searching for the Screenlife plugin.
Okay, so Yeah. If it's not out yet, it's coming soon, and you should all go make your own Screenlife movies.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
send them to us.
Really, I mean, totally honest, I really would be very interested to see what you guys came up with this tool, because this opens a lot of creative doors, and it's very, very exciting. I can't wait to see profiles, and also just like really anything else that comes out of that program at this point.
I can't wait to see something that's not horror or thriller. I really can't wait for the first rom-com or the first serious drama, something that doesn't hinge on anxiety, because I think inherent in the concept of watching someone screen is a sense of anxiety, and that you're maybe seeing something you're not supposed to, or that sort of feeling. That can be channeled into other forms of intimacy, but I'm interested to see how they subvert that sensation with different genres.
And there is no doubt in my mind that we will get to see a lot of that soon, given how passionate he is about all of this. So there you guys go. It's our supersized The Witching Hour about Screenlife and the movie Searching. Really, check that movie out. I can't recommend it enough. Haleigh, as always, thank you for joining me on this podcast. Where can everyone find you on the internet?
They can find me on Collider.com. They can find me on Twitter at Haleigh Fouch, and on Instagram at HaystackMcGroovy.
And I am on Twitter and Instagram at PNemrov. Hopefully you won't be able to find me on Screenlife because I stopped that recording. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening to this episode of The Witching Hour. You guys rock. And now, that's it. You've officially survived The Witching Hour.